How's it going, everyone? Indy Sean 45 coming at you. I gotta tell you guys, first off, with last night's rankings, I am less optimistic about Notre Dame's New Year's Six bowl chances. I hate being negative, but to be honest with you guys, I think after last night and seeing that we're still at number 16, not moving up at all, I think those chances are just about kaput. Maybe it's not official yet, but it's not looking good. Not at all. Now, of course, I have a few questions about some of the teams ahead of us in the rankings, but you know what? I'm not going to bitch about the committee like I'm sure a lot of you are probably expecting me to do. But I will say this, though. As much as I think the committee does need to be held accountable and have a better structure and a better system of how they make their decisions and whatnot, when it's all said and done, we really have nobody to blame but ourselves. I mean, to play on the big stage, you have to win on the big stage. And I've said this many times in the past. If you want to make it to the big time, you have to win. And we didn't do it. I mean, we had two golden opportunities on the big stage earlier this year, and we couldn't capitalize on either one of them. So, unfortunately, the Irish have nobody to blame but themselves. It's no different than boxing or MMA. The last thing you want to have happen is it to come down to a judge's decision, because it's going to screw you every single time. And here in the college football playoff, the rankings and the New Year's Six, it's no different. So really, there's accountability on both sides, and I'm not denying that. I could bitch all day long about the committee, but in the end, it's all on the Irish and how they play and how they perform. And you lose two big games, one of them in disastrous fashion. It's hard to get a lot of respect in the games that you have left on the season. But it's just too bad. It's just too bad that we couldn't get just a tad bit more respect than what we've been getting. But at the same time, it is kind of understandably so when you lose 45-14 to Michigan. That's not helping the case any. But with that said, let's get to the preview for Boston College, and it's pretty simple, really. But I will say this about Boston College first off, and you guys have heard me say this in the past when we played the Eagles. Boston College, even though they're not having the best of season, they're 5-5 right now. BC is a team that really just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. They over the years. I mean, this is the big one. 1993, they screw with our national championship run, which honestly, in my opinion, I still think Notre Dame should claim the 93 national championship officially. There's a good case there, but that's another video, another day. But they screwed with us in 93. They screwed with our perfect season or our championship run, actually, perfect season, whatever you want to call it, whatever you want to go by. They screwed with it in 2002. 2004, they beat us on our senior day. And, well, at that point in the season, all the major bowl hopes were gone anyway, but still, we were playing for a better bowl game, the best that you can get at that point. But still, though, they beat us on our senior day, screwed with our chances at a better bowl game. So, long story short, Boston College is a team that, well, I despise, to be honest with you. I mean, thinking back to all that history and all the times that they've screwed with us, yeah, it leaves a bad taste in my mouth, to say the least. So, even though they're only 5-5 this year, go out there and kick the living shit out of them. Regardless of what our bowl scenario is and whatnot, kick the living shit out of Boston College. That's how I feel about this team. But, breaking them down, to sum it up, Boston College is a very run-heavy team. Not saying that they don't pass the ball, of course they do, but it's been kind of they've been kind of in a flux from what I'm seeing, because they've been playing two different quarterbacks. But the running game was where they were the strongest at, and A.J. Dillon. What more do I need to say? I haven't seen a lot of this kid, but judging by the numbers, pretty good. And that's an understatement. I think he's just shy of 1,500 yards, 13 touchdowns, and an average carry of 5.3 yards a carry. That's ridiculous. The one that's definitely a bright spot on a team that's right at 500. So the game plan for this one is very simple. Shut down A.J. Dillon. So this Irish front seven has to step up and make some plays. Shut this kid down. I mean, as good as this defense has been, there's been a few times this year where we've struggled against the run. The numbers may not reflect that, but certain highlights tell a different story. But it's like I've been saying all season long and basically these past 10 years, you never underestimate an opponent. You play them like you're playing the top team in the country every week. That's the mindset that you have to have. So if our front seven is able to shut down A.J. Dillon, of course, I mean, I would have liked our chances in this game anyway. Just that's the kind of year BC has been having. But as far as a score prediction goes, I don't think that we're going to completely shut down A.J. Dillon and the BC offense, but I do think we win this one pretty big. So my score prediction for this game, Notre Dame 45, BC 20. As good as A.J. Dillon is, I think our defense is going to be too much for him. Look at what Clemson did to these guys. If you want to compare, other defenses and other teams, yeah. I'm not saying that we're Clemson, but I think we're right on par as far as the defense goes and the kind of defenses that BC has seen this year. So, 45-20 Notre Dame. That's my final score prediction. With the whole bowl situation, again, not trying to be negative about it, but the NY6 at this point does not look like it's happening. Just with this game and then Stanford next week and then all the conference championship games, just way too much needs to happen, I think. Not saying that it can't. I know there's still a lot of big matchups to be played yet in these last 3 weeks, but just if the committee's not going to move us up any further than what they have been, not give us a little bit of respect, then just our chances aren't looking good. But of course, me being the quote naive fan that I am, I'm still going to hold on to that slight bit of hope. But at the same time, I'm being realistic about it, and it just doesn't look a whole. I don't see a whole lot of confidence in that happening. But you never know. Strange things have happened before. So on that note, everyone, this is ND Sean 45 signing off. God bless, and go Irish, beat Eagles.